Today I'm recording live from my hot tub on a Sunday evening. It's about 36 degrees right now, but lucky for me, the hot tub is about 104 degrees, so it all balances out. Our topic that we're discussing today is called Kill or Be Killed. This topic is not about violence, it's actually about action. There's a dynamic inside of life that most people do not understand, and it passes straight over their head, which is in fact the fact that life either takes action on you or you take action on it. So this dynamic repeats itself everywhere. It repeats itself in normal life dynamics, just going through life, strolling through the job that you work, the people that you meet, how far you actually end up getting in life, but it also repeats itself in many other things, such as women, relationships, and not relationships only with women, relationships such as friendships, acquaintances, relationships with acquaintances, competitors, business, everywhere across the board. This continues to repeat itself, that you kill or be killed. I'll begin in the dynamic of life in general. Many of you, for some reason, have developed this concept that you just landed on Earth and whatever happens to you, happens to you. It doesn't really matter how it happens or where it came from. You take claim of some outside source that decided that your life is going to be this way. Well, that's true if you make it, of course. That's true if you accept it. If you accept the fact that something out there that may or may not be imaginary, may or may not be made up, is deciding what actually happens inside of your life, this is the dynamic called being a feather in the wind, then so be it. The reality is that this is not true. You have all power every single day that you wake up to either take action or have action taken on you. Now what life does, and it does this in a very silent manner, is it will take action on you if you don't take action on it. I'll give you an example. If you're a guy and you're just working some job right now, I don't know, you work at Starbucks or some shit. You work at Starbucks and you've just decided that the universe decided that you are going to be the guy who works at Starbucks for the rest of your life. And then you just made that statement true. The reality is Starbucks put out ads or advertisements in one way or another, whether that was around their store or whether that was some type of digital advertising saying that they are hiring because there's a CEO at the top of that company that needs to make more money by having more slaves / employees inside of the company doing exactly what is told. Meanwhile, you're sitting there with your little $300, $400, $500, I don't know what Starbucks workers make, but your little couple $100 paycheck weekly, thinking that, you know what, the universe and God decided that I'm supposed to be here right now working at Starbucks, and this is God's plan, and this is what the universe has in store for me, when that CEO, that he had that shit in store for you. The universe didn't have it in store for you. At any given point in time, you can up and leave and say, you know what, I'm not worth $13 an hour, $15 an hour, or again, I don't know what Starbucks workers get paid. This is off the top of my head. You have all of the ability and the decision to get up at any given point in time and say, you know what, I'm not working for that shit. If it's not more than $25 an hour, I won't do it. You know what'll happen the moment that you make that decision? All of a sudden, $25 an hour jobs will start to swipe across your face. And you'll realize there's many, many different options for entry-level jobs that pay $25 an hour, doing work that is no harder than what you were doing at Starbucks. Or even if the work is harder, who gives a fuck? Because do you want more money or not? The universe takes this action, and the universe never actually takes any action on us. The universe really only reacts to what we do. So myself, inside of my corporations and my companies, I've made the decision that I do not participate in activities that do not pay over $500 an hour at this very given point in time. I shoot for around $1,200 an hour, but my absolute lowest, you will not catch me lower than $500 an hour for any given activity. When it starts to approach that point, I will cut it off and I will say this is not worth my time. Now I'm saying this right now as a 20-year-old, right? If you catch me in the future, and when I say in the future, I mean 6 months, a year, a couple years, that amount will have multiplied by, I can't give you an amount because there's no way to gauge my success. I'm quite literally like a gold gem. I'm just a huge piece of gold, and my value is only going to continue to increase. Maybe I should say a diamond, I don't know. But the point is that my value will only continue to increase, so I can't give you an estimate on what I'll be worth in a couple months or even a couple years. I have no idea. All I can tell you is it's going to continue to increase. You have the decision all across the board, you decide, hey man, what am I worth today? What will I do work for? What will I accept? How will I accept to be treated? It's the same dynamic in speaking to people and how the world reacts to you. Many guys shoot me messages on Instagram, Snapchat, and they say, man, I don't know why, I just don't get no fucking respect. I speak to women, they talk to me like shit. When I speak to my friends, they talk to me like shit, they treat me like a joke. And I ask them simply, how do you treat yourself? But how do you talk to yourself? How do you see yourself? Because all the world is, how you are spoken to and how you are treated is a mere reflection of how you see yourself. So if you see yourself as some fucking chump loser who doesn't deserve shit and is supposed to be losing and working a low-wage job and is speaking to women who do not respect him and do not value his time, so be it. That is exactly what you will end up being. The universe will treat you no different than you treat yourself. And if you're having trouble understanding this dynamic, then maybe I should give you an example that'll make it really, really easy to understand. Matter of fact, I just thought of one on the spot. Let's say a homeless guy, right? A homeless guy goes up to a big corporation, give me a good example, Apple. A homeless guy that is in, if any clothes at all, a white t-shirt with holes in it, with pants with holes in them, with shoes with holes in them, with dirt all over his clothes, with an untrimmed beard, no haircut, and no skillful qualifications. If they were to go up to Apple, a billion-dollar corporation, and say, give me a job, if this homeless guy, which he will not get a job looking like this, but if he was to land any job at all, do you think that Apple, the corporation, would say, you know what? I think we're gonna make this guy the CEO of the corporation or the COO of the corporation. I think he's got that in his bag. There's no way in hell, there's not any hypothetical situation where it would go down like this. If this homeless man was accepted for any job at all, it would be a janitor mopping and sweeping the floors. Now let's break down this situation and try to figure out why this is. Well, he's an entry-level employee, he looks like shit, he has no skillful qualifications, he has no experience in the industry. So when you go up to a billion-dollar company or any company at all, looking like the lowest tier of employee, they're going to hire you as the lowest tier of employee. Now I'll give a flip example, maybe somebody like myself, maybe somebody more qualified for myself than myself to go work at Apple was to go up to that corporation and say, hey, you know what? I have 5 years in sales, I've worked for many of your competitors, I've done these sales sections, I don't know, I'm just spitting shit right now. I've done these sales sections inside of their company, which has resulted in 300% returns on an annual basis, this, that, or the other. These are all my qualifications, this is what I can do. I will not work for less than $200,000 a year because I have proven that I can bring value to the company that is worth more than that. I promise you they're not fucking putting me on the janitor floor. I promise you they're not giving me a broom and saying, here, clean up that message or putting me in the lunchroom or any of that shit. They're gonna give me a real position somewhere inside this company because I showed my qualifications. Now the example that I just gave with the janitor is the exact equivalent to what many of you guys do in your life. You look like shit, you have nothing to your name, you have nothing proven. They're just across the fucking board, bro. It's embarrassing. Everything is embarrassing about yourself, and you know that. And I'm not trying to be harsh on you, but I'm trying to be realistic with you. If everything across the board is nothing, you have no physical fitness, you don't have the ability to speak. When you do speak, it's all soft and you're scared and you're timid. How do you expect the world to give you respect if you're not politely demanding respect from the world? Off of this topic, I want to go ahead, I will spin into dynamics with women. It is quite literally kill or be killed with women. If you meet a woman, and this does not matter if the woman is an absolute princess and a great girl and she's very nice and she's caring and she's church going, or it's more like the modern woman that we have out here that like to party and they like to go out and they like to do all sorts of shit. And I'm not saying anything is embarrassing about or anything is wrong with that. All I'm saying is what we are dealing with in the modern world. If you just happen to be dealing with either type of woman, both types require the fact that you need to demand your respect. Here's where everybody goes wrong. When I'm telling you to demand your respect, I'm not telling you to do it in the show fashion Andrew Tate style where you, bitch, you're gonna listen to me and do what the fuck you're told. Nah, that's not what I'm telling you. I'm saying when certain things arise within a relationship, for example, I seen a really good example on social media some time ago, maybe a week or so ago, and a guy was speaking and he says how inside of his relationship with his woman, all he does is any moment that she does something that he does not like or makes him feel disrespected, he just nips it in the bud right there. Hey, baby, listen, when we were out to dinner earlier with your friends, you kind of said something that made me feel a little embarrassed. I just felt like in the moment that you didn't really need to say that. Politely, I'm just asking you, please don't do that in public. Let's keep certain things private and not let, people see certain parts of our relationship. That's a perfectly respectful way that you can draw boundaries with females. You don't have to speak to them out of language. You don't have to call them out of your name. You don't have to be rude or anything of the case. You just have to set your boundaries. Now, what happens if you repeatedly try to set a boundary with a female and for some reason she's just not getting the message? She still will not respect you. You approach a point where you have to say, listen, I enjoy speaking to you. It's been nice. Whatever she's good for, whatever she's done for you, if she's done anything at all, and you have to say, listen, I don't think this is working out. Or, realistically, that's the nicest way to do that. That's not how I do it. Realistically, I would just disappear. Because females only understand things in terms of action. So when a female does something that you don't like, snap your fingers and you fucking disappear, and you're no longer anywhere to be found, all of a sudden she realizes, it's just like a dog. My dog's right over there. It's just like a dog. Whenever a dog does something that you don't like, and you hit it on its behind, or you give it some type of disciplinary action, or the reverse of when a dog does something you do like and you give it a treat, it ties treat to good action and it gets getting hit on its behind to I did a bad action. So when a female does something you don't like, if you just disappear, because the only thing, and well, not the only thing, but 90% of what females live for essentially is attention. They're living for attention, to be either told that they're beautiful, to just be given daily attention. What are you doing? What are you up to? What are you doing today? Or some type of attention is what they're quite literally living on. If you cut attention off from a woman, they start to suffocate and just like a fish without water. They just quite literally can't breathe and function. They'll start to cry and say crazy things. Oh my God, you don't love me, da 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 da. It's the same type of thing. So immediately when a female shows you any type of disrespect or gets outside of what I would call a program, many of you guys, for some reason, you don't have a program. I don't understand why you don't have a program. And that doesn't mean that when you first speak to a woman that you have to say, hey, here's my program and these are my rules and you're going to follow it. Your program is something more or less that you keep private, and it's nobody's business but your own, but it's essentially all of the rules that need to be followed in order for a female to be able to talk to you or have ties to you, to friends to be able to talk to you and have ties to you. If you are a businessman, people that you do business with, I have certain rules that I just do not go outside of. For example, I don't take disrespect on any manner. I'm at the point in my life where I don't have to take disrespect. I've worked 2 jobs ever in my life. Both jobs, I was disrespected. I was racially profiled by fat white managers who now obviously I can buy their life and we're incomparable. But at the time, I was just a kid trying to get me a quick buck. And they used to treat me like shit. And they racially profiled me and they recorded me and they did all sorts of weird things. I've been disrespected enough in my life now, and I'm at the point now where I don't have to take disrespect. So no matter what business deal I am going after, or no matter what company I'm trying to partner with or what I am trying to work out, the second, and I mean the second that I feel disrespected, I'm able to cut all ties. I don't give a fuck about the amount. I don't care what amount is at hand. I don't care how big the brand deal could be for how much money it could make me or any shit like that. If I feel disrespected, if I'm yelled at, talked over, or disrespected in any given manner, I will cut off a company. I will cut out a business deal. I will end that shit right there because I don't have to deal with it. I'm fine. It would be nice to land this business deal for $2 million. But do I need that shit? Fuck no, I don't need your business deal. I really don't. And I won't take your disrespect just to get your business deal. I'm hoping you guys are starting to understand this repeat dynamic that I'm repeating, that I'm trying to push into your head, which is kill or be killed. It's not about violence, it's about action. Take action in your life with people and start to demand respect. Take action in your life with women, start to demand respect. Take action in your life with business, start to demand respect. If life does not see you acting upon it, life will act upon you. If women do not see you taking action leading the relationship, they will take it into their hands to lead you. A woman leading a relationship is the worst shit you could fucking possibly imagine, because genetically they're not supposed to lead the relationship. The man is supposed to lead the relationship. So whenever you get to a point where making a woman lead a relationship, usually she does not take the throne. She will just not respect you, and she will try to go find a guy who can properly lead the relationship and who will gain her respect when he gives orders, when he asks things of her, and what he is capable of doing for this woman. You make a choice every single day that you wake up, which is either be a fucking loser or get on track to being a winner. Do you ever really become a winner? You only become a winner on people's standards which are below you. People who don't have as much money as me and haven't seen as much success as me, I'm a winner. To myself, speaking honestly, I'm still a loser. Now, I don't mean that I'm a loser as in I haven't done shit. It's a mindset that I've pushed into my mind to keep me going. Because if the house that I had right now, with the cars that I have right now, with the resources that I have right now, with the businesses that I have right now, with the success that I've seen right now, was enough to fill me up, then I would stop my success journey. And then what the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing here if I just stop trying? If every single day that I wake up that I don't try to scale my companies a little more, or get a little more fit, or be able to talk a little bit better. If I just felt like where I was right now was my end game, which is what many people do. Usually people who have jobs do this. They start making $100,000 a year. You start making $150,000, $200,000 a year. I don't know what small amount says that you hang it up. But everybody, not everybody, but most people who work jobs do have this small amount per year where they can afford a $60,000 truck, and they can buy their wife a little $40,000 car, and they can get a $400,000 house, and they've got a little bit of money after every single paycheck. And you know, they can afford the stuff for the kids and the daycare, and you're able to go on vacation once or twice a year. Usually this is the point where most people hang it up. Myself, I'm not the same. I am a degree of insane, and it's fine. I actually talked with my brothers, both Kaden and Isaiah, yesterday or the day before while we were sitting in the hot tub. I spoke with them and I said, you know, I've gotten to the point where I do realize that I'm a degree of insane, but I'm okay with it. I like bottomless pits. I like things that no matter what, there's always something more to do, which is why I enjoy combat sports, because it's a bottomless pit. No matter how good you are at combat sports, somebody out there can kick your ass. No matter how good you are at combat sports, there's always a combination, or there's always a kick, or there's always a submission that you can work on to get better. It's a bottomless pit. Money is a bottomless pit. No matter what, you can always continue to get more money. Game with women. I love to speak to women. I can't express how much I love to speak to women and to meet different women from different upbringings with usually the base of women ties to father figures, with different father figures and different families and different friends, that I realize how different women work. But no matter how many women I have met, I still have yet to figure out any formula that works, one formula that works on every given woman, because there isn't one. They're all different and they all like different things. Let me swing back to my main point of this video. You're living in a life where the dynamic is kill or be killed. If you are not the aggressor, you will get aggressed upon. If you are not the one who in business, this is you, this is your competitor, y'all are both trying to get to the top. You're studying your competitor, you're stealing your competitor's customers, you're trying to realize what they're doing, studying it so that you can get better. If you do not do it and play what might be called a cutthroat game, if you don't, your competitor will. They will take all of your business, they will take all of your customers, and in summary, they will take all of your money. You don't want to be that guy. Kill or be killed.